The destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Sup in the Guys, I just gotta say, I can't talk today. That was horrific. Hi guys, we are back talking all things iZombie, and I promise I won't stutter my words as much as I did in that intro.
You're just excited.
I am. I'm so excited. We've got so much to talk about as always. You've got your hosts, Ally, Shawnteairra, and Drew Jones here. And we were talking everything iZombie, and I don't know, but at the end of that episode, Major and Liv looks like they are kaput.
No!
I don't know. All right, let's dive into our overall thoughts of this episode, ladies.
I loved, I know that Liv's characters are always really fun, but for me, I feel like I loved Clive this episode.
Yeah.
I just feel like Clive was really the star, and so I like this episode.
Same. I love this episode. I loved how Liv she just bodies every character. I mean, literally with the walk, even when Major was like on top of her, it's like, watch my hip. I love how she gets into character. It never fails. And then this time she made a drink. The little fancy drink. I thought was super cute. Loved it, loved it.
A fancy little cocktail.
Yeah.
Yeah, she really is so great at making these subtle character changes, but yet I don't know, it's crazy the way that she can really jump in these characters, but you still see Liv.
Yeah.
But I feel like this one was full on, like she was almost forgetting herself in this this person.
Do you feel like as the seasons go on that the characters become stronger and stronger?
Yes,
absolutely.
100%.
I wonder if we're gonna see that become almost like an issue at some point for her.
Right. I feel like it could, because Ravi is always the one telling her, like, Liv, you're in there, I know you are, like, come back to it. And as soon as he calls her out every time, she kind of slowly shuts it down, just like she kind of did this episode.
Yeah.
So you might as well just get into Liv and Ravi this episode. And Ravi calls her out because she's being a total you-know-what, because she is being Mrs. Brinks.
I love Liv and Ravi as a friendship.
I do too.
I just think they're so funny. I think Ravi can handle whatever personality she's on, and he just has perfect comedic timing. I could watch a whole show of just Ravi sitting in a room talking to himself, and I'd be content.
Yeah, and when we were watching it earlier, you were like, I could hear him talk all day. I was like,
my
me
God.
too.
That accent.
I think it too, their chemistry together on the show is just amazing. So it goes beyond their characters. I feel like for me, I really feel it. I really feel like they have this really
great friendship.
Yeah, I do. For
Great.
sure.
Yeah, and also, I know we do have a live chat going, and we will definitely, Drew's got it. Yeah, girl, you're on top of it. We love you guys, and it's so much fun. And also, I would like to point out, sorry, don't mean to sidetrack, but we're missing Kia tonight. She'll be joining us next week. She couldn't make it, but let's dive back into Liv and Ravi. But yeah, Ravi is such a great friend, and he is so kind and patient, and that's kind of what Liv needs. And I think that if she doesn't have Ravi around to be there to be able to pull her out of this, because nobody else really knows when she's being super extra in the character.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting now because now Clive knows what's going on, whereas before he was just kind of what's going on with
but
you?
What's weird is that now he knows he still doesn't call her out Liv, I know you're there. He just goes along with it.
I just think he gets agitated really easily. Ivan in the chat said this brain was horrible, almost as horrible as the racist bigoted brain from season 2 premiere, which I remember. That one was the worst.
Yeah.
But I feel like Clive's whole approach on it is kind of just Clive, I don't know. I feel like Clive isn't as
he's not fazed by it.
Yeah.
I feel like Ravi kind of is empathetic towards it almost.
Right.
Whereas Clive is just
come on, get over it.
Yeah, you're being a jerk. Shut up.
Yeah.
Don't call me stupid. Bye.
Yeah. Yeah. And I also think that, oh my gosh, it just left me. I was just going to say something about Liv, and I can't remember it. It's really going to bother me. It'll come back to me. But let's get into Mrs. Brinks, which is the character that she is. This lady is too freaking
oh my
much.
Gosh, yeah.
Too freaking much.
I just think it's hilarious because I worked at a country club when I was in high school, and listening to her gave me hardcore flashbacks of just the most awful people. Country clubs are a war zone for just horrible, mean, old, rich people. But like what she said was low-key kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like literally just speaking her mind and letting it all fly, no matter what she cared or whatever came out of her mouth.
Yeah.
And her lady friend was just like totally like doing it with her. She was just like, backing her up. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that Liv, I mean, she's gonna go broke by the amount of times she does like wardrobe changes just for these characters. I was thinking that every time she takes on a new brain, she usually goes and gets a new outfit to like, curve whatever that brain wants you to look like. And I was like, that looks like an expensive suit.
Right.
So I was just like, man, she's breaking the bank on this one. But
the way Mrs. Brinks died, though, the way the
that was too much.
I wasn't expecting that. I totally screamed.
Like when I saw that laying on the ground, because you see it hit her face, and then you
and then you see it like click. They like zoom in on it.
Also, her friend just passed out from being scared, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Like it just made it seem like I was like for a second like I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, you know what really like threw me off about the whole thing was the sound effect it made. And it made me think, have you seen those videos on like Twitter and like Instagram of people of like the AR people making the sound?
Yes.
And I was like, what made that sound? Because it's always weird stuff. It's always like someone biting a pickle or like crumpling up paper. Like what made that sound? Because it was
it was a little dramatic. Yeah.
I've also heard that with I think they said it was vampires. I can't remember if it was zombies. I was at some sort of tour and they said that they usually bite into fried chicken and that makes that like sound. Yeah, obviously I'm terrible at reenacting it. But yeah. Very graphic.
Yeah, I just like, and then just seeing it didn't bother me as much as like hearing the sound effect. I was like,
I think that's what made it worse because you see it and then it, like the noise.
Yeah. That's like when Ravi was licking the brains last episode.
Oh, that was rough.
Too much.
Too much for me.
Too freaking much. Speaking of too freaking much is Major right now. I mean, I am just kind of over him and his over dramatic ways. I mean, do you guys agree with me? Do you feel like he's being over dramatic?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, I just feel like he's almost. I have to figure out how to phrase this in the right way. I feel like he is, not on the. I get that he thinks he's doing what has to be done, and I do understand that like someone should probably have their foot in that whole situation, but I think often that line of like which side he's on is kind of blurred,
right?
And I think he doesn't feel like he's compromising anything, and I feel like Liv was right when she was like, the Major I knew would have, been there helping that sick kid, and I feel like Major's kind of been on the more Fillmore Graves side.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then he's been like old Major.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely feel like he's definitely switching over. And I think she's absolutely right. Like I feel like he did have like a soft spot. And I think he still does to a certain extent. But yeah, in that situation, the way he came at her and how he ended things, it kind of caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting it either because I don't know, but it's weird because we see a different Major obviously with the new soldiers, and then we see him act with Liv. So it's like you're kind of like, what Major am I going to get this time around? And maybe it is because even though Major is he is getting to teach the new soldiers his own ways, but and then he also feels like a mentor around them, but then when he's with Liv, he thinks that he's almost better than her.
Yeah. Cuz I feel like he almost feels like a purist. Because Liv is content with working with zombies and humans, and I feel like Major is almost in this has this superiority complex towards humans. Like I'm better than you because I'm now stronger, faster, whatever.
Right.
And so it's almost like he's picking these zombie children over human children when in reality they're all children.
Right. Do you think it has something to do with the fact that Fillmore Graves is just the one in power and he's the one that has all this power, and so it's like Major's on his side, so it's like Major is just kind of just I don't even know how to put it, but he's pretty much losing himself, I guess.
I think he is, and I feel like he's just this. We've kind of seen him like he goes in and out of these like not spells, but in a way, Major doesn't really. I feel like he's still trying to figure out who he is as a person and where he fits into this whole scenario. And he has this whole complex of: do I love Liv? Do I not love Liv? Do I want to be a full zombie enthusiast? Do I want to be on the human side? Like he doesn't know what he even wants, and I think that's what's confusing to him, and that's even confusing when he's even around these new soldiers because he's like trying to teach them something, but like is what he's teaching them even like the good that usually is in his heart? We don't know.
Because it's like, are you teaching them based off like your morals, or are you teaching them off the book of like Fillmore Graves' morals?
Right.
Because those are two completely different things.
Right.
Do you think maybe I was just thinking about this that because of the I don't remember her name, but the young girl who scratched the kid.
Yes.
Do you think because that situation, maybe he's like stressed out about that because we don't see her after that.
Right.
I mean, I know that kind of gets a little bit more into predictions, but I don't know if maybe a lot was going on because we all know what happens if you scratch somebody. If you they'll turn into a zombie, and we know how that goes.
Yeah.
So do you think maybe he was like stressed out?
Maddie Fernandez in the chat said Jordan. That's why I thought her name was Jordan.
Oh, Jordan. Right. That's right. Her name is Jordan.
Thank you, Maddie.
Thanks,
appreciate you.
Maddie. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know because I feel like, yeah, maybe it is. Maybe he is stressed and he's kind of like taking it out on Liv. Like, you're the bad one. You think you're so good because he right now is thinking, shoot, I messed up.
Yeah.
You know, he's the one that messed up almost because he's supposed to be protecting and looking at and looking over those people, like those kids. And he's the one that like brought them in anyways. And he was hoping that he would change their lives for the better and not make them have to make any bad decisions and make them kind of go through all that.
Yeah, it seemed like his response was very emotional, especially with him just saying, you know, well, sleeping together was easy. It's just like he got really like, I mean, I understand like I understand where he was coming from. I do. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I understand it. But I feel like that when he was saying like when he started to kind of take a jab at Liv and kind of like break things off, I think the way he handled that, he was just really emotional. And it's just like
he always acts like this though. Like if it goes back to season 1 when he was basically like, Liv, you chose what you felt over me when she injected him with or she made him a zombie and then injected him with the cure. He basically, before she did that, he was basically just saying how terrible of a person she was and how she's selfish and thinks of herself. And it was like, well, you were selfish and thinking of yourself when you walked into, you know, or trying to fight those zombies and thinking you could do it alone. Like, that's selfish because you know people are caring about you. You know people are going to come and look for you. And almost, like, people basically kind of died looking for him and figuring this all out.
Yeah.
So I feel like Major's just a little selfish.
I feel that, but to play the devil's advocate, I lost my wording there. I feel like maybe he also feels like almost attacked, like, dang, I'm really over here doing the best I can, trying to like take care of everyone I can, and like it feels like none of my hard work is like going noticed. It feels like I can't ever do enough for you.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm putting up with all of your crazy personalities that I have to go with week to week. I don't even know what we are necessarily. You know, I have Fillmore Graves breathing down my back. I'm now responsible for the lives of these 2 kids.
Right.
Like, I'm trying to, you know, keep the peace, but I have the humans hating me, and you still want me to, like, fight for them even though they don't like me. So it's like, even though I think he's being selfish, like, I kind of can also see from his side.
That's very true.
How he's feeling.
That is true. And, I mean, he doesn't really have anybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, from what we see, obviously, Fillmore Graves could have a great poker hour where he's got great friends, you know? But we do, I mean, Liv has so much camaraderie every day, and he doesn't really have that. And so I think you're right. He's really putting his heart into everything, and he's trying to... And obviously this season, I feel like we're seeing a little bit more of a different side, so I'm not giving him as much of a break as I probably should.
Yeah.
But that is true. He has been putting a lot on the line for this. And as I think it was Ivan in the chat said, do you think Jordan will go into the guillotine? Which is something that I like almost forgot about this episode, that the guillotine is in existence, and Jordan can go in as well as Major, because he is basically... He's going, like they said, there's a no tolerance policy, and that doesn't mean just no tolerances and you're not going to scratch anybody. That means no tolerance, like anything. If you let people out of here where there could be another zombie outbreak or lead to any of potentials, like that's huge.
Yeah, it is.
He put a lot of his stuff on the line for that.
You know what I was thinking about with the little boy situation? Wouldn't it have been easier to turn him into a zombie, like health-wise, wouldn't that have like solved the heart
I thought
issue?
about that. Yeah.
Oh. But maybe she didn't want him to be a zombie. But I guess he could have stayed then.
Yeah.
She clearly went. But also, yeah, it's kind of like for the poor, like the mom, like she went to all this effort, and then it was like she's just gonna be alone and in jail.
Yeah. Which also made me think: do zombies age?
That's a good question.
Like, are those zombie children gonna be zombie children forever?
Wait, that's a great question. Wait, I think I wrote something down about zombies. Oh, yeah, I'll lead into it, but I don't know. I don't think maybe they can.
Right? It's like now you just
now my brain's
you go into
confused.
a black hole and you're like, wait, what even?
Do they age? I don't think they do.
But then that means there's gonna be a bunch of like zombie kids running around, which doesn't make sense.
It's gonna suck. That'd be like my worst nightmare, to like my kid turn into a zombie and I forever have to
take care of the kid.
My 7-year-old zombie kid.
Yeah, that is strange. I don't know. Does anybody in the chat know? They can't age.
Ivan
They're
says,
immortal.
Yeah.
They can't age. They're immortal. I mean, that's what I would think. Yeah, they're dead. So. It's
and
like,
yeah, I mean, it is illegal to turn more people into zombies, but I don't know. I feel like, I don't know.
In the case of making this child safe, I feel like maybe people would have like turned a blind eye or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm also curious, not to go into this black hole, but I'm also curious, how are they are zombies registered? Like, is there a zombie registry?
Remember, they had them on disease outside their house, or like the.
But that was
that's
humans,
the unit.
Yeah, the humans were doing that though, as like their own sense of like.
You mean like how are they tracking like?
Yeah, how does Fillmore Graves know who are already zombies and who aren't zombies?
That's true.
That is a good question. Man, I don't know. Now I'm really looking into
all these unanswered questions.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know. I really do want to get into Ingus and his whole crew for a second, because I had a whole question on how, like, can zombies eat other zombies? You know what I mean? Like, obviously, like, Ingus was killing all those people, and I thought that all those people were, like, so Ingus and his followers go in, and they basically raid that little alleyway of the people selling brains and blood. But weren't they zombies?
Some of them I thought were.
Right, because then that was my other question is, okay, so are zombies eating zombies now?
I think I think it was, like, a swap of, like, both zombies and humans, and like I feel like they were selling all sorts of sketchy things, but like brains was one of them. And then I think when they all went in there and like, you know, raided the whole thing, it was the humans were killed and the zombies were converted into like his little mega church.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So he's basically trying to gain more followers, and then the people that aren't zombies already are just gonna be.
Yeah.
But the guy that he that was stabbed, was he a zombie? I know Angus killed him, but was he a zombie?
I thought he was too, because he pulled the knife out of his stomach.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I thought that's what. Yeah, I don't know.
Because the guy earlier was the one who has been like secretly selling the brains from Fillmore Graves.
Yeah.
So.
Do you guys in the chat know if zombies can eat zombies? They still have brains. But, like, so far, we haven't seen a zombie eat another zombie. It's just been, like, they kill them by shooting them, and then that's it. And then they then they just disappear somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't call myself a zombie expert, but I have seen a good amount of zombie films.
Yes.
There's a certain, I guess, a certain versions of movies where once a zombie becomes a zombie, they kind of register on their own, like, okay, you're a zombie, I'm not gonna eat you.
Oh, it's kind of like, I got you, bro. Like, you're good. Okay.
And in the
that
chat,
makes sense.
People are saying that they can't. Ivan, Addie.
Okay, that makes sense. I didn't think so. That's why I was just confused when they were going in there. But you're right. It's just because they wanted to add more followers to this crazy Ingus situation. I feel like Drew really likes Ingus.
I do. I'm so fascinated by him. One, I just think it's funny because he like quotes Biggie, and he uses it as like the word of God, and I'm like, same. But he I don't know. I just think he's such a fun character.
Yeah.
It's like not just this season, just as a character in general. Like his character development, going into this weird like mentally unstable abyss that he's in has been so interesting.
He's believing himself, like I 100%, because when he was doing he did the whole like he was totally convinced that he was really getting taken over for a second.
I was motivated by him.
I like his character too. I think it's I mean, I think that with him being back and Blaine having no idea, I think that they're really building something with his character. The fact that he's building an army. Like no one, I don't understand how like Liv or Blaine doesn't even know that he's back. That is
kind of weird.
I like how it's. I feel like I like how it's going.
I just feel like there's so much going on, and I agree. I really like where it's going. I feel like there's so much going on. I think between him doing this zombie purist megachurch, and now with like Jordan scratching the human, and obviously that guy was filming it. I'm sure there's going to be some type of human uprising. I definitely think we're going to see like a clash between the two, like zombies and humans. For sure. But I just like I want to see Angus run into Blaine because I think he's going to register Blaine's voice as the voice of God, and I want to see how that plays out.
Right, that'll be really interesting because that was kind of like the last thing he had heard before he went down the well. So it'll be that will be crazy to see how that plays out. And if even Blaine's like, what the heck are you doing? Like, he'd be like, because you told me. And he'd be like, no, I didn't.
Oh, money.
I didn't tell you. No problems. Oh, my gosh. This is so much fun, guys. I love talking to you every week. And you know what? You know where else you can have fun?
Where?
And you can learn and grow in all areas of your life? On Maria's weekly podcast.
Yes.
Alrighty, for those of you who love to have fun in all areas of your life and would like to learn and grow, we have got the perfect podcast for you. Conversations with Maria Menounos podcast edition is hosted by our AfterBuzz TV founder, Maria Menounos, and drops every Friday on iTunes. Conversations with Maria Menounos features celebrity and influencer interviews along with secrets and tips on how to be better in all aspects of your life, from health and wellness to career and relationships, finances, and more. Woo! Let our Maria be the big sister you never had. Just go to iTunes and subscribe to Conversations with Maria, and it's free, guys. You can join Maria every Friday for free on iTunes podcast. So be sure to rate and comment, and when you do, let Maria know who got you there, okay? So that's, again, Conversations with Maria Menounos podcast edition. Go check it out. It's amazing, and we love Maria. She has done so much for us here at AfterBuzz TV, and you guys should definitely go support her and all of her amazing interviews with amazing influencers and everything.
Yeah.
So she's just so great. I love her so much. And you know who else is also pretty great is Mrs. Brink's character, because she's just too much for me. Too much.
I know she was just an absolute witch.
She was so terrible.
But I loved her.
She just didn't care. She didn't give a crap. But also, we did see that she has a sensitive side.
Yeah, because you don't just leave $1 million to your help.
Right.
If you don't have some type of soft side.
Wait, I have a question. So, okay, I know that Clive wanted to ask them about the $1 million to see their response, but she really did leave the $1 million for each of them.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. And so that's why, okay, tying it back in.
Yeah,
okay.
so she was basically the, which we can't, does anybody remember the name of Alex's mom? I don't.
The chef. I don't
think I got it.
I don't think I did either.
I don't know if they even like really said, maybe like a miss. I don't know. I'm sorry I missed that, but I just know Alex's mom. But yeah, that's kind of like why she kind of concocted this whole plan to get Alex back to his dad, because... But we were just talking about this before. What's also confusing in the pieces that are left out was just why, like that. I feel like that's a lot of effort to go to, because then now, I guess she was just sacrificing her child's life for her own. Sacrificing her life for her child because she wanted him to have the best life he could, because he can't really do anything in Seattle. It's basically like about to be this whole like scary place.
Yeah, and I imagine that the health care that he needs probably is no longer available in Seattle.
Right, because they're so focused on brains.
Exactly.
And
which is why she was trying to get him out to his dad who was in Los Angeles.
Right.
That whole situation was tricky.
It was so tricky.
Did we establish if she hired somebody to kill her, or if that was her that did it?
I think
because I feel like with the gear and everything that they found, like I wasn't really convinced.
I think
it was weird
But I think it was her because she's the closest to the house and she could go inside. And they said they saw someone run away, so I think she just threw the thing and then ran back inside the house and no one really knew.
Yeah.
Because no one, if it was just a random person she hired, they would have been caught red-handed because they would have nowhere to go. But for her, it's easy to she probably had it stashed in the bushes somewhere, already preemptively thinking about it. And then dropped it, ran away.
Yeah. It's just, but with her character, I just didn't even see her. I had no idea it was going to be her. I just didn't see, it literally caught me by surprise.
At first I thought it was, to be honest, the
driver?
Yeah. But then after a while, before we figured it out, I was like, okay, I do think it's her. Because the tool wasn't something that was needed to have a lot of strength. The weapon wasn't something that needed a lot of strength. So I was like, okay, they definitely made it to where it could have been either a man or a female.
Yeah.
Working this whole thing.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. This was a good one though. It had me going through a bunch of loops and confused and what's going to happen, especially when they walked in to that laundromat and they were trying to get in, and Major was luckily let them in there. Yeah. I thought it was sketchy in there, but they were the nicest people.
They were.
Yeah.
They
Mama
were
Leo.
so nice.
I like how Robbie climbed inside the. Was it the washing machine?
Oh yeah, the washing machine or dryer to try to get out.
Yeah,
they're don't worry,
hilarious.
we got this one. It was so good. But you're right. Major was definitely not selfish because he let them in, and basically they were like, "Do you see something moving?" And he could have had all of them against him and been like, "Major just let all these people in, and you don't know who was in the back of that hearse." And they had no probable cause. Usually you'd think that they would need some sort of paperwork to say we've got a body we need to pick up in here.
Yeah.
But that was actually a bad excuse. They could have come up with something else.
Yeah.
We need to do some sort of research or something. I feel like saying there's a body to pick up and no one told you, that's more likely to get in trouble.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, I didn't think. I thought about that during. I'm just thinking why. Because I know that they were saying that they would have known if a dead body was there.
Right.
But yeah, they should have did that completely different. They already knew what to expect. They knew that they were going to be stopped.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Yeah.
Someone who's trying to stop something is Clive. He's trying to stop the mojo.
I'm mad that
what do they call it? Decreased libido?
Libido.
Libido.
Decreased libido in
Trying
his
to
anxiety pills.
Trying to stop getting his freak on. I just think it's such a bummer that zombies and humans can't get it on together without there being a consequence.
Yeah. But I feel like there can be. I feel like they just don't want to risk it. It's
like a
in
zombie condom.
But I feel like it's in Vampire and not Vampire Diaries, in Twilight. Oh my gosh, Twilight fans would probably be so mad. It's like in Twilight though, he didn't want to do it because he was so scared he was gonna hurt her.
Well, wasn't that the case in Vampire Diaries too?
Yeah, that's true. Because Stefan and Elena would it was too rough.
Yeah.
And I think she actually, so it's every time it's too rough and you could potentially kill them. So I think that's why they're just scared. They don't want to risk it. I think they can, they just don't want to risk it from happening.
But it kind of goes back to with you saying that if Clive and Dale did get it on, do the nasty, and he did turn into a zombie, it kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier. How would Fillmore Graves know? How would they know who was turned into a zombie or not?
Right. That's kind of where there's a loophole that maybe we're going to figure that out, a couple episodes in. But I feel like we still haven't figured out this whole system.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing.
But was the reason that zombies and humans, because I can't remember in the chat, if you remember, help me out. The reason zombies and humans can't have sex, is it the same reason that the vampires and humans can't have sex? Because they get too zombied out and then they just rip their head off?
Well, Ivan's saying that Ally, zombieism has been confirmed to be transferable in that way. So I guess as soon as you do that, you make someone a zombie.
Again, zombie condom.
You heard it here first.
I'm pitching it. I just want zombies and humans to be able to let their freak flag fly and be happy together.
Yeah. Someone said #poor Clive. That's very true. Poor Clive. All he does is love Dale. They just want to spend their lives together.
It's ZTD.
Zombies.
ZTD.
I don't know. All right, guys. Yeah, I don't know, but I feel bad for Clive.
Like STD, but ZTD.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, I guess but that stinks. they love each other and they have such a great connection, and seeing them happy is just
I love them together.
But it sucks to kind of know that it's kind of like the whole like Major and Liv thing, even though now they're just kind of, they can still do it, but they just don't want, they're not stopping that from happening. But it was in the beginning, you know, you want them to do it. This is the thing we've talked about last episode, how you think that Clive would never be turned into a zombie. He'd be like the one standing human. But this almost makes me feel like he would want to become a zombie just to be with Dale.
I think so.
I don't know if he's gonna get pushed to that. Like, I
don't think so.
I don't think so.
I feel like we have to have one person in this cast who's like a human purist, and not in the same way where like Major's becoming kind of a zombie purist, like the sense of like they never flip sides, like they never turn into a zombie,
like Ravi, where he has his times of the month.
Yeah. I feel like that has to be Clive. Like, I think even I want to call her Ally Mashaka so bad, and that's not her name. Peyton. I feel like Peyton is more likely to be a zombie than Clive ever will be.
Yeah, I agree.
I definitely
agree.
But maybe Peyton, wouldn't that be crazy? Like, Peyton already was a zombie and we just like didn't know it this whole time.
Like,
that's a little too much.
She's like a zombie on the low.
Yeah. She's a performer. She's performing to be a zombie. I mean, performing to be a human. Speaking of performing and performance, American Idol, the singing competition that started it all and revolutionized the TV landscape, has a new home, guys. ABC. The search for a superstar begins on the all-new American Idol on ABC, and guiding the contestants along the way is an esteemed panel of judges: pop icon Katy Perry, country superstar Luke Bryan, and country superstar Lionel Richie. They will be joined by Emmy-winning producer and personality Ryan Seacrest as host of the beloved series. American Idol is the only singing competition to go around the country auditioning hundreds of singers in the search for the most talented, undiscovered performers, and their stories are as diverse as America. Contestants from all over the country will audition for a golden ticket to Hollywood and get their chance to light up the world with their voice and their heart. It is one of the most anticipated series of the television season. The American Idol journey begins Sunday, March 11th at 8/7 Central, right after America's Funniest Home Videos on America's network, ABC. Guys, that's this Sunday. If you haven't looked at the calendar, it's this Sunday. It's coming up. American Idol is back in full force.
Yeah,
cannot wait.
Really rooting for this. I don't know if you've heard of her, Kelly Clarkson. Like, I heard she's really good, but I'm really rooting for her to win.
I just will never forget of American Idol, Ruben Studdard.
I loved Ruben.
I loved him.
I hated that. No, I didn't hate, but that song, "Sorry for 2004." Yes. I'm like, that is.
I ain't gonna mess up. No.
I'm like, if you play that now, it's kind of like what? Like, that song would never be played.
Banger. I'm sorry for 2004. I love Ruben Studdard. I actually went and saw them in concert. When like Ruben and Clay were like the top two.
What happened to them?
They're still around. Clay it's like doing like government stuff. I think he was like
I had a few friends.
Right? I think.
I had a few friends that were on the last season. This last season.
No way.
Yeah, Sonica. Shout out to Sonica. That's my homegirl.
Amazing.
Mackenzie, Borg, and Dalton.
So fun.
Yeah.
So much fun. Well, guys, we're kind of running out of time, and we need to get into some predictions.
Yes. And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Shawnteairra, you start them off.
Okay. So, I've already kind of teased it a little bit, but obviously with Jordan, whoever told me her name, thank you. Jordan, I'm curious to see what's going to happen with her. I believe that she's obviously going to get, I don't think she's going to die, but I definitely feel like it's going to get really good that, because you know that when she scratched the kid, it was on camera. So obviously I'm guessing that they may lock her up or something. Something's going to happen, but I don't necessarily think she's going to die, but I do think that it's going to get really, like, dramatic. I think her character will really be able to shine a little bit.
I like that.
So I'm curious to see what's going to happen next week with her. Liv and Major, I guess I just want to believe that he's going to just be like, okay, I over-exaggerate it, and then they just get back together the next episode. But I'm like team, Liv and Major. So I believe that I'm thinking that they may end up working it out, maybe.
I think so.
Next episode.
I hope so.
But and then last thing. Next episode. I guess this may be me wanting this, but Blaine. I need Blaine and Angus to connect.
100%.
I need him to see.
I feel like Drew's kind of feeling
I
that.
want that so bad. I love it. I really want Liv and Major to work it out because I don't think we've ever got to see them truly have a relationship. Like
besides the first episode.
Yeah, when they were before she got changed, but we've never seen like it be a legit thing. And I really want them to see them work out because I really want them on Do You Ship.
Yes.
And I absolutely want the Blaine and Angus reunion. Yes. I need that. That's honestly all I really want and all I'm really going to think about until next week. And I want to see Ally and, not Ally.
Peyton.
I want to see Ally and AJ make a reunion. I want to see Peyton and Ravi, like, work it out.
Yeah.
Because I really like them.
I think so, too.
Really?
I want to see all those couples, go back together. And I think that what's going to happen with Clive is he's going to, like, maybe teeter on the fact that he wants to become a zombie to be with Dale, but not actually do it.
Or maybe Ravi figures out, like, an immunity. Rather than turning the cure, maybe he can figure out some type of immunity situation.
I would love that. That would be amazing.
It would.
Really quick, guys, we are basically out of time, but we're going to be trying to start a new section at the end of our show where we just talk about the brains of the day, which today was a cocktail, and it was so great. And we'll try to really start to think of more ideas that we can figure out for kind of like a news and gossip section with all of our fun iZombie characters. And I will say another segment was that we want to shout out all of you amazing fans that support us and listen to our podcast and watch the YouTube show. We are so appreciative of all you, and I would like to shout out Ivan Soto today because I feel like every single question that we had, he answered, and we are so appreciative of you being in the chat. And every week we're going to shout out a different fan, so make sure you tweet us and comment below, and we'll definitely be checking that out, guys. Well, thank you all so much. Another week, you ladies. It was great. Shawnteairra, where can they find you on social media?
You can find me everywhere on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at Shawnteairra.
Drew Jones.
And you can find me on The Flash, Black Lightning, and on Do You Ship with Ally, or on all social media at OKDrewJ.
Hey guys, Ally Nasta here. Find me on Twitter at Ally Nasta and on Instagram at AlleyGirl. And of course, don't forget to follow AfterBuzz TV on all social media platforms. And catch me and Drew, like she said, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. for ABTV Do You Ship. We'll see you next week, guys.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.